All right, my clock says 11, so we will get started. My name is Kamala, and I'm here with my colleague Jack. We're going to be doing the webinar today on managing total station import and export in RoadEng. Thanks for joining us. We are recording the session today, so you'll all be sent a link to the recording after the fact. And if anyone wasn't able to attend at any of your offices, feel free, you can pass that link on to anyone who missed the webinar today. So just a quick outline of what we will be covering today in the webinar. We'll talk about creating an import specification, which is a special file in RoadEng that allows you to read in a total station file and create an accurate terrain model with that file. Then we'll talk about actually importing that total station file. We'll show you how to work with a terrain model that's been created using a total station file, show you some techniques for cleaning up a terrain model and working with break lines. And then finally, we will cover export to XML and ASCII coordinates, different applications for that. We'll show you how to do that in RoadEng. So for those of you who are not familiar with RoadEng, RoadEng has two modules. There's the terrain module and the location module. The terrain module is where you import your survey data and create a terrain model. And the location module is where you do a road design. So Jack will be using both of those modules today for the webinar. The terrain module will be used in the first half, which is the importing stage, and the location module will be used when he shows you how to export a finished design. And there's a list of some of the file extensions that RoadEng is compatible with. We will be using LandXML and ASCII points today in the demo. So just a quick overview, talking a bit about how you import data in RoadEng. The terrain module can read in ASCII files in a wide variety of formats. This is a screenshot of just a few of the list of extensions and file types that RoadEng can read. So import specifications are created. They're a special .ilp file that are created to allow RoadEng to read and parse a survey file. So these import specifications are set up in module setup import. Jack will show you that, but I'm just doing a quick overview before I pass things on to him. What is an import specification? As I said, it is a special file that allows RoadEng to read in your survey file. So it tells the software your file structure, whether it's delineated by fixed length fields, comma, separated, tab delineated, or delimited, etc. It also tells the software what is X, what's Y, and what's Z in terms of positioning and other attributes such as a point code descriptor. It also tells the software about any linear features. It ties codes to each particular point. So this import specification file is it's important to know how it works so that you can read in your data correctly. And once you have an import specification that works for your data format, you can just use it all the time. Before I pass things on to Jack, he will show you how to do all of this in RoadEng. Here's a list of our upcoming webinars. There's 4 on there. Please visit our website and sign up for any or all of them. You'll notice our last one there is RoadEng version 8 sneak peek. We're not talking a lot about version 8 yet, but we are planning on releasing a new version of RoadEng in the fall. This September webinar will be a chance to see some of those new features right around the time that we're hoping to release it. So with that, I will pass things on to Jack, and he will show you how to work with import and export in RoadEng.
Thank you, Cam. Welcome, folks, to our bi-weekly webinar. As Cam said, we hold these things every 2 weeks, sometimes a little bit longer than that. Sometimes we might switch it up and hold it on a Thursday instead of a Friday, so sign up for as many as you like. And before I move on to demonstrating the software. We do have a questions panel. I don't know if Cam mentioned it, but if you have any questions,
no, I didn't. Thanks, Jack.
just type in your questions, and every so often one of us will look over and see if there's a question there. Before I move on to creating an import specification, I'm just going to show you what the text file looks like. So this is just a survey that I'm going to import. It's in Notepad. As you can see, there's a number of columns here. This column is the point number, and then there's either a tab. In this case, there's a tab or a space, and then there's a northing, and then there's another tab or space, easting, tab or space, elevation, tab or space, and then a code and a comment. These codes are going to be connected into line work, some of them. And I'm also going to bring in the point number, so that's just an idea of what the file looks like before I create an import specification. That's the next step I'm going to do. Module setup and the train module. So I am in the train module. Go to the import tab. This file happens to be in imperial feet units. So go to the import tab. I'm going to press the add button. I'm going to call it total station import, and then choose ASCII text. Press the details button. As I already said, it's a space or tab delimited file, so that's the part that I'm going to change first up here. And my northing is in the second column. My easting is in the third column. My elevation is in the fourth column. And then there, like I said, there's a code in the fifth column. And the code will also be the feature name of the feature. I'm also going to add some attributes such as point number and comment. Open up the, before I do that again, I press the attributes button. I'm going to go into comment, add the comment to the selected side. Next thing I'm going to add is point number, because I want to bring in the point numbers also. Add that to the selected side. Comment will be, like I said, the code will also be the comment or label if you want to turn that on. The point number, you can see once I click on point number, there's another field that unlocks here, column field that unlocks, and that's going to be column number 1. Next step is to go to the Features tab. We want to identify features by code. So basically, if there's a code that we want to connect, software to connect into line work, that's why I recommend that you use identify features by code. I'm not going to go into the records, but you can, if you want to. I'm just going to quickly just show you. You can include certain records or exclude them by code if you want to. So you can basically tell the software, do not bring in these codes, because I'm not going to use them to either do my design work or generate my TIN. Next step is to test out the file just to see if everything's coming in okay. The file is called Survey 1. Yeah, it looks like everything's coming in okay. My easting, my northing is this number. My easting is that number. My elevation is that number. And there's your codes. Just going to press next record a few times just so you can see that everything is coming in pretty good. Next step is to go into your codes tab, and we're going to the software is going to look, if I press the open button, the software is going to look into the code extract all the codes in that column. A lot of these codes will be point codes. Like, for instance, spot is a good point code. Let me just find it down here. You could change your symbol for spots. I'm going to just leave it at none. No, I'm going to change it to a cross. Keep it as a black cross. A couple of other codes that I want to, spot codes that I want to change, like control points. They will maintain, they will be points, and yes, they will be included in the model. And yes, they will be 3D, excuse me. And they will have a different color. I'm going to give them a navy color and choose a special symbol for control points. I think a benchmark symbol would be nice. Okay, that's enough for my spot, my point codes. I'm going to go on to do some of the line codes. Center line. This is the center line code because I know it was told me this is going to be the center line. I didn't survey it, but this is the center line code. We're going to make that a polyline, and we're going to connect that all up. And yes to connected, yes to displayed, yes to 3D. And we're not going to skip anything. And center lines can be break lines because if they have a crown, they're excellent break lines. Break lines are featured for those people that aren't aware of what break lines are. Break lines are features where there's a definite change in slope. Great break lines are edge of pavements, bottom of ditches, top of cuts, 12 bills. Definite changes in slopes on those features. Let me change my center line to a different color, and I'm going to include that in the model obviously before I go on to change the color. Red dash dot, and I want to put a symbol in of a square at all my survey points, my hubs. Next one I'll do is edge of pavement. I'll make that a polyline, connect all. Yes to break line, like I said, they are excellent break lines, edge of pavements. I'll make my edge of pavement a teal color, solid line type, and no symbols. So the only one that I so far have the only line type that I have that's going to have a symbol at the survey points is going to be my center line. Next feature I want to do is top bank toe. I'm going to just select those both at the same time. You can select multiple features at the same time. I'm going to just click and drag across them, make them, connect them all, make them break line all at once, make them break lines all at once, and choose a green color for both of them. Dash line type, and no symbols at the nodes or at the survey stations. I'm going to do one more just to show you one more. Polyline, connect all. Yes to break line. Shoulder, I'm going to give that a lime green color or maybe a cayenne color, solid line type. I'm not going to do any of the others, although I could have done fence. Just don't want to spend my time doing the import specification. I'm going to press OK. OK again. It gets added to the bottom of the list, shift it up higher because you're going to probably use this very often. Don't want to go down to the bottom of the list to search for it. Save as default. Press OK. Open up the file. File open. Choose my import specification down here at the bottom right. It's called Total Station Import. And this is the file right here. Okay, there's the file. It connected quite nicely. If it didn't connect nicely, you would have to actually do some manual joining and breaking and joining. In this case, the surveyor did a nice job of surveying everything on the left with one code and surveying everything on the right with another code. I have a question. Can I select different codes in the same text using the control key? Yes, you can. Let me just confirm that. I just want to really confirm that just quickly. Yes, you can. Okay, so you can just jump all over the place and select a whole bunch of different codes and make them all the same line type, same kind of properties for the codes. All right. I've got another. Let's say that the project manager says that you got to go out and collect some more data. I have another file here. I don't have to go out and recreate an import specification. I'm going to just insert another file. And the file, again, is going to be total station import. This time I'm going to choose survey 2. And there you go. All those new purple features or magenta features are the extra survey that was done out here in probably some farmer's field or something like that. And also there was an extra break line that was added in. Next thing I wanted to do is generate my contours in tin. There's my contours. I also wanted to turn on some other features, show you how to turn on some point codes before I go off to show you how to export. I'm going to, first of all, go into my active window plan options, labels, options. I'm going to add in point numbers as the feature that I want to turn on. But I'm not going to turn it on here because it will make a big mess of my file. It will turn on every single point number, which will be a lot of point numbers. Let me select just a couple of features. I'm going to select my edge of pavements, and then I'll turn it on for just those. Select by name. There's a number of ways that you can select features: by name, by layer, by boundary, or you could just use mouse selection. I'm just going to use by name. Edge of pavement. I think they're called EP features. Yes. Select. There's 4 of them. I'm going to modify selected features, labels. So you just select a feature and you modify it. In this case, I'm modifying the label, turning on user-defined 1. And then just for that label, we should have the point codes turned on. And yes, we did. Sorry, point number turned on. You can see it there. For this edge of pavement feature, the 526 is here. The next point is 527. Then 528 and 529, they are in consecutive order. Then you can also turn on point codes for other if you want to turn on labels for another group of features, you can. I'm not going to show you that, but that's just as easy. You go in to select a feature by name. For instance, let me just check. I'm going to go into advanced and select everything that starts with SHOU, which would just be my shoulders, star. There's 6 of them. And I'm going to turn on labels for those. Modify selected features, labels. Comments at feature points. There. It's, like I said, it can be a little bit of, there is a lot of features here. You're going to have to adjust that so that you can see those names. Or you could turn off your scale for a second and just zoom in until you see the individual labels, and then you can lock your scale. You can see that they are, that just the shoulders are labeled. All right, let's, now that you guys got an idea of how to import total station files, I'm going to show you at the other end how to export to total station and to land XML, so that you can total station so that you can upload to your total station unit, and then land XML so that you can upload to a machine grader. First of all, I'll do the total station one. File, save as. Down at the bottom you'll see a coordinates if you choose it. I'm going to choose, just overwrite this one right here. It's going to be a text file. Save. And then I'm going to choose my fields that I'm going to export. I'm going to remove these two. I don't need the vertical offset and the horizontal offset. I'm going to keep my code, keep my easting, northing elevation, except I'm going to change the order. I'm going to have northing, easting, elevation, and then code. Remove the surface. Remove the P station. Keep the stationing for the L station. And also press OK, and I'm not going to choose all point types. I'm just going to choose turn on auto interval points, properties. I'm going to export 100-meter intervals or 100-foot intervals in this case. So I've got my fields, I've got my point types. I'm going to choose what surfaces I want to export. Most people want to just export the subgrade material. You don't need to know the all surfaces. You don't need to know just the subgrade material is probably the only feature that you need to, or the only surface that you need to export. Press OK. Done. Let me show you what the file looks like. I'm just going to open up the file in my sort by date. So this is the one that excuse me, this is the one that I just created. So you can see there's zero elevation, and then you got the northing, easting elevation, and then the codes. Excuse me. And they are comma delimited. These are comma delimited, but you could make them easily tab or space delimited if you want to. Let me show you how to export to land XML. File, save as, land XML. Again, I'm going to choose the one that I already saved, so just overwrite it. So this time you want to have, you can export point types again. I'm going to export 100-foot intervals. You could tighten it up a little bit more. Depends on how far you want your cross sections to be. I'm going to the whole station range from 0 to 2,321 feet. And I'm just going to export the subgrade material. Again, that's probably the only one that you'd be interested in. And it's going to include all codes, and I'm going to have all my sections exported also. Cross sections, which are important to your machine. You need to have those cross sections for your machine grading systems. Press OK, and that's it. That's done. That was basically all I wanted to show you in a nutshell. How to import some data, how to turn on some features and turn on some labeling in the train module. and then also export out of the design module once you're done. Is there any further questions? If not, I will hand it off to Cam again, and I'll thank you for myself, and I'll pass it over to Cam.
It looks like there is one more question, Jack.
There is?
It says, for editing break lines, is there a way to lock the points so that they don't get deleted by accident? Did you catch that?
For editing the break lines, is there a way to lock the points so they don't get deleted by accident? No.
There's another question there too. Do you see it, Jack?
Can you just repeat how to import several files in the same file? Sure, I can. Okay, let's go on. Back to the train module. I'll just do that really quickly. Okay, so assume that I've created my import specification, which I already have. Let me just see if it's still there. It is, yes. Good, I saved my defaults. File, open first. Choose your import specification. Open the first file. Press OK, continue, and then File, Insert to add more files. And if you want to add more files after this one, then you just keep on inserting. Let me choose my import specification and open up my second file. Continue, and there it is. It's added that data. Does that answer your question?
Okay, any other questions? Otherwise we will, oh yes, thank you, smiley face.
Good, I like smiley faces. Thank you.
All right, if there's anyone else that wants to give us a smiley face, great. Otherwise we will call it a day. Okay, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and you'll be receiving a link to the recording probably on Monday. Have a great weekend.
See you in a couple weeks.
Bye-bye.
Actually, on July 14th. Bye.